Welcome to Africa Fault Line. Let's look at what is currently happening in Nigeria. Nigeria is once again facing a painful reality. Children who left home for school never made it back. Teachers dedicated to educating the next generation were taken alongside their students. Families were left in fear. Communities were left in shock. And as Nigerians demanded answers, a completely different controversy began to dominate social media. A controversy involving one of Africa's most influential pastors, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, and the Redeemed Christian Church of God. But how did a school abduction become a national debate about religion, politics, and leadership? That's what Africa Fault Line will be discussing. Reports from Oyo State sent shockwaves across Nigeria. Armed men attacked schools in Oyo local government area and abducted students and teachers. For parents, every minute became a nightmare. For communities, it was another reminder that insecurity remains one of Nigeria's greatest challenges. Schools are supposed to be places of learning. Instead, they have increasingly become targets. And for many Nigerians, this was not just another news headline. It was another painful chapter in a long history of school abductions stretching from Chibok to Dapchi and beyond. As news of the abduction spread, anger exploded online. Parents demanded action. Citizens questioned the state of security across the country. But as discussions continued, many Nigerians began directing their frustration beyond government officials. They started asking, where are the voices of Nigeria's most influential leaders? Where are the pastors? Where are the religious organizations? And why are some leaders seemingly silent while children remain in captivity? Soon, attention shifted toward Pastor Adeboye and the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Across social media, critics began comparing today's situation with previous administrations. Some users claimed that religious leaders appeared more vocal during the government of former President Goodluck Jonathan than they are today. Others suggested that some church leaders were reluctant to publicly criticize the current administration. Many online commentators pointed to the fact that President Bola Tinubu is Yoruba, and that First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is a long-standing member and pastor within RCCG. Critics questioned whether these relationships could be influencing public silence. Supporters of RCCG strongly rejected those suggestions, but the debate continued to grow. As pressure mounted online, RCCG's Public Relations Department released public statements addressing what it described as false narratives. The church rejected claims that Pastor Adeboye campaigned for any political party or government. According to RCCG, Pastor Adeboye has consistently encouraged Nigerians to obtain their voter cards and vote according to their personal convictions. The church also rejected allegations that Pastor Adeboye had called off a planned protest. RCCG stated that he was only communicating a decision made by the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria regarding a prayer program and rally. The statements were published under the title, Addressing False Narratives Circulating About Pastor Adeboye and RCCG. For supporters of the church, the response settled the matter. For critics, however, the issue was never really about elections or protests. It was about something much bigger. The question many Nigerians are asking is not whether Pastor Adeboye campaigned for anyone. The question is whether influential leaders should speak more forcefully when national tragedies occur. Should religious leaders remain focused solely on prayer, or should they publicly challenge governments when citizens are suffering? Should pastors only preach faith, or should they also become powerful voices for accountability? These questions are dividing opinions across Nigeria. Perhaps the most important lesson from this controversy is not about RCCG. It is not even about Pastor Adeboye. It is about trust. Many Nigerians no longer believe government alone can solve the country's problems. As confidence in institutions declines, citizens increasingly look toward pastors, imams, traditional rulers, celebrities, and other influential figures for leadership. When tragedy strikes, people want more than sympathy. They want visible action. They want influential voices to stand with ordinary citizens. And when that does not happen, frustration quickly turns into criticism. Though students and teachers abducted in Oyo State remain at the heart of this story, because beyond every political argument and every social media debate are real families living through fear and uncertainty. While Nigerians argue about pastors, politicians, and public statements, parents are still waiting for their children, and perhaps that is the biggest tragedy of all. The controversy may dominate headlines today, but the real question remains: why are Nigerian children still being kidnapped from their schools? Until that question is answered, the debate will continue. What do you think? Should religious leaders speak out more strongly during national crises, or should responsibility remain entirely with government officials and security agencies? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoy balanced reporting and deeper conversations about Africa's biggest issues, subscribe to Africa Fault Line, because behind every headline is a story that deserves to be told.